Greetings to everyone here today. From the midst of the actual genuine noise, regardless of all the ongoing talk and the constant clatter that surrounds us, it's the same thing, an example of what's happening in Syria in general and Asawida in particular, the clatter of opinions and opposition. There's a saying that goes, a world of opposition is a world without minds. What does that mean? It means everyone is voicing their opinion. Everyone is at odds with one another, especially when it's accompanied by feelings of hatred, a desire for revenge, and the like. All of this, if anything, indicates a severe weakness in the collective consciousness, because collective consciousness stems from a broad and flexible mind. In reality, there's nothing new to blame specific individuals, a specific government. This is our consciousness. This is the exact same thing that happened in Lebanon during the sectarian wars. Now, I can briefly say something very important. There's no solution for any nation or for humanity except through deep awareness to expand our thinking. How can you expand thinking when there are these ignorant, exclusionary, and hateful beliefs that claim superiority for themselves while condemning others as infidels destined for hell? I mean, this belief isn't simple because it's ingrained in the subconscious from a person's upbringing, especially from places of worship, from those spiritual atmospheres that are supposed to produce free people. We notice that they're producing restricted people, and the restriction is in the subconscious, no matter how much you try to convince them with reality. There remains what's called an inner demon, a program that denies. Therefore, there's no way when we talk about building a shared homeland and we bring together a diverse intellectual group, everyone has an opinion and everyone has an extremist ideology. I'm not talking about balanced monotheistic beliefs. It's like putting students from first, second, third, and fourth grade, high school, and university all in one classroom. I mean, this political principle that nations were built on is a principle that's more of a failure than failure itself. Why? Because we see how many wars, conflicts, and bloodshed have occurred due to sectarian wars, and the examples are many. Well, on the other hand, if a certain group of people from a specific belief or a specific sect were gathered in one place and given independence, can we guarantee that this collective consciousness, even if on a specific creed, won't conflict with itself? All sects also have levels of awareness. So the problem lies within ourselves. We're programmed politically and religiously. We need a new awareness to erase this programming, be it sectarianism or political borders. This is true freedom. But if you come thinking, he who liberates decides, what did you liberate, my friend? You what? That you liberated? Did you liberate a land from its people, for example? I mean, what did you liberate? I mean, you liberated people who disagree with you ideologically, and then you impose an ideology. We've gone back to the Umayyad and Abbasid states and so on. True freedom is to be truly cured, to gently and patiently heal yourself from deeply held beliefs, whether those beliefs exist within their partisan or regional boundaries, political, sectarian, religious. Then you sing the glory of humanity. And that's why we all truly need comprehensive deprogramming courses. Knowing that the human mind is scientifically proven, it's very difficult after the age of 40 to be re-loosened, and this is what we've noticed. Why? Because there are energy blocks in the subconscious. There are blocks, there are locks. We've noticed that even those who talk about awareness, spirituality, and human development, as soon as they face such difficult tests, like what happened in Syria, a miserable failure. Why? Because the issue isn't about words or external indoctrination. The issue is internal and actual. When you are free from within, from sectarian constraints and others, this isn't external freedom. You say, that's it, I'm not sectarian. No, in the test, a person is honored or disgraced. Freedom doesn't mean coming against my sect, against my group, against another sect, against another group. Let us all know that whoever comes against any other group or sect is inevitably against me and against his own sect. And this person is likely to become an ISIS member under the same government that wants sectarian independence. This is what we should pay attention to. It doesn't matter, the situation is urgent and the massacres in Asawida cannot be ignored, and it's their natural right to call for what they want. But it's not that he who liberates decides. Who liberates? There's no freedom. you're expelling people or being expelled, this isn't freedom. It's called sins or misdeeds. They call it karma, meaning if you commit a folly, it will be committed against you. Judge not, or you shall be judged. Judge not, lest you be judged. The same thing will be done to you, if not sooner, then later. So what's the solution? The solution isn't simple because it requires deep upbringing and education, not just superficial or external. What I wanted to say is, let's not think of ourselves as truly free Syrians, no matter how much we assert control or raise slogans of freedom. Everyone truly knows for themselves whether they are free or not. And when tested, a person is either honored or disgraced, so you can know if you're free. Observe yourself. Do you hold any hatred toward other sects? Do you have an objection to the beliefs of others? Someone might say, of course I want to object. I mean, these absurdly silly, completely trivial beliefs that permit enslaving women, beheadings, and such beliefs. I mean, it doesn't get more trivial than that. Can I accept them? Yes, yes. Because divine love is unconditional, meaning to see that behind this darkness that destroyed and darkened itself with the gloom of beliefs, there's a will for you to realize the beauty of yourself and your own beliefs. Frankly, friends of awareness, monotheists from every sect and religion, my friends who've been raised for many years, the vast majority of them proved their credibility in word, thought, and deed during this crisis. And this is monotheistic awareness. Let's not think freedom is being independent within a sect. And let's not think freedom is in a state that gathers this sectarian diaspora. Freedom is only found in friends of awareness. Freedom is only in expelling the programming of ignorance from the conscious and subconscious. Freedom is only in passing and succeeding in life's difficult tests. I call, for example, for resisting any invader, for fighting any occupation. When As-Suwaida reached this level of burning and massacres, well, there's an acceptance of the divine will. There's a love for the divine will through the actors. Why? Because they exposed themselves and exposed their beliefs. And this is a type of awareness. So when we say no malice, it truly means no malice. Because whoever sees the Lord's will, the divine will behind events, sees only one will. So where does malice come from? It inevitably comes from ignorance. Those who manifested in human forms but came as reptiles, giants, and demons have surely sold themselves to the evil, cursed adversary, meaning those distanced from divine mercy. They sold their souls. They have burdened themselves with heavy loads in this world. But whoever truly seeks unity does not descend to the level of the conflict of opposites. Even if they defend with strength and ferocity in word, thought, and action, defending with strength and ferocity, yet with inner contentment, because they see how the higher will works through the negative to free them from the programming of ignorance. Yet in practical reality, they are effective. So the message today is that contentment is not submissiveness, but an internal state of consciousness, reflected in active work to serve the divine through serving humanity. And this is the secret of oneness. And this is called the consciousness of oneness. It is an invitation to individuals of any particular sect who seek independence. They have the freedom if this collective consciousness truly desires that. But there are looming dangers that we must also take into consideration for anyone who insults or curses, harbors malice or envy, has hatred and a desire for revenge. They mock others and slander them, even if they are from their own family or sect. We must be wary of such a person, for they are a programmed being. Peace be with you and blessings.